This is a rune, and these are also runes. But what exactly are runes? Runes are written characters used by Germanic tribes and peoples such as the Vikings, and the study of runes today is called Runology. The word rune is said to have come from the Proto-Germanic word runo, which could mean anything from letter, secret, mystery, to whisper. This is reflected in the fact that runes are said to have been magical symbols representing the gods and holding great wisdom. So runes are letters arranged into alphabets called phytarchs or phytorchs. The meaning of this is similar to how we would describe our keyboards today as being a QWERTY keyboard, as phytarch represents the first 6 letters of the runic alphabets: Ph, or, Thorn, Az, Rad, and Ken. There are many runic alphabets or phytarchs, but the 3 most famous and widely used alphabets were Elder Phytarch, Younger Phytarch, and Anglo-Saxon Phytarch. But when most people are talking about runes, they usually mean Elder Phytarch. And we will talk more about this and the history of the runes in another video. Runes in each alphabet are split into families called et, which means family, and the plural of which is atir. Each et is roughly made up of 8 symbols, and the number 8 seems to have been significant in Norse mythology, but the significance of this has long since been lost. Most of the information we have on the meaning of runes come from 3 rune poems, so there's a lot of information that runologists today don't know. But what we do know is that, like the origin story of most alphabets, in Germanic and Norse mythology, runes are said to have come from the gods. In this case, Odin, through a very strange ritual. In Norse mythology, the 9 realms or worlds are held together by a great tree known as the Tree of Worlds, and this tree grows out of a great pool known as the Well of Erd. The Well of Erd was said to have held the entirety of the past, and thus it is a pool of great wisdom, and it is out of this pool that Odin gained the knowledge of the runes. The account of it says this: I know that I hung on a wind-rock tree 9 whole nights, with a spear wounded, and to Odin offered myself to myself. On that tree, of which no one knows from what root it springs, bread no one gave me, nor a horn of drink. Downward I peered, to runes applied myself, wailing learnt them, then fell down thence. Historians are unsure of exactly what this sacrifice was meant to have been, but whatever it was, Odin supposedly gained the knowledge of the runes, which he used then to perform magical acts and eventually taught to humanity. Reflecting the mystic nature of runes, the name of each rune is actually a common word. Each rune is also linked to a god and an element. Not only that, but it's said that the material runes were carved onto also held significance. The ancients believed that everything had a spirit, so the wood, leather, bone or stone added an extra status to the objects. To show you the significance of each rune, we'll take for example the letter Thorn, which we seen earlier. Thorn actually, in spoken language, meant a giant, both the words attack and defense, and was also associated with Thor and fire. So let's recap. Runes are Germanic and Norse letters which were believed to have magical powers. Runes are arranged into alphabets called phytarch, and phytarchs are split into atir, made up of 8 characters. Runes are said to have come from a well of knowledge and the name of each rune was also a word and linked to the gods. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please take time to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2, where we will look into the history of runes.